This is Ricky Marvel 69 Comics, and today I'm going to give my thoughts on the upcoming The Avengers 2 Age of Ultron, which is coming out May 1st, 2015. I'm really excited to see this movie. I've heard some updates about it, and I did do a video on this maybe a year ago, and at the time Josh Whedon was trying to tease us with Thanos as being the main villain, as the main villain for the sequel, so they can have the Infinity Gauntlet storyline. But they're using Ultron this time around, which I'm really glad because I love Ultron and he's one of my favorite Avengers villain from the comics. Now, it's interesting, as Josh Whedon said at Comic-Con, one thing that's kind of disappointing some people, and including me, is the fact that Hank Pym, aka Ant-Man slash Giant Man, won't be in the Avengers 2. And I'm a little disappointed by that because, as you know in the comics, Ant-Man slash Giant Man, aka Hank Pym, created Ultron. Now they're getting this theory that Iron Man might create him, which it could work if you come to think of it because he is a billionaire and he's really smart, just like Hank Pym. But they need to have Hank Pym. If they don't have Hank Pym in the Avengers 2, they need to at least reference him as the creator. Another thing I heard about was the fact that some people are theorizing from Iron Man 3, which was a really good movie, by the way, which I will give my thoughts on the Marvel Phase 2 my next video. But the other thing that's going on is that if you ever watch Iron Man 3, which is spoiler alert, which I'm pretty sure everybody has seen it by now, in Iron Man 3, he builds this Iron Man suit where he doesn't have to use the suit to be in it. And you can always theorize the fact that he built Ultron. Some people are saying that Jarvis will become Ultron, and that would be really interesting if they had Paul Bettany play as Ultron, not voice him, have an evil version of Jarvis. But they need to have Hank Pym be the creator of him just to fit the comics better. I heard that and Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are going to be in the sequel as the new Avengers, and I heard also Vin Diesel has been cast. I hope that he plays as the Vision, because that would make pretty sense to have the Vision in the storyline since Ultron created the Vision, but he looks perfect for the role. Now, it's kind of weird because Quicksilver is actually supposed to be part of the X-Men, and actually in X-Men Days of Future Past, which I didn't say this in that review, that Quicksilver has been cast in X-Men Days of Future Past, and it's going to be played by a different actor. But the thing is, what happened with the deal is the fact that they can actually have a deal. Marvel can use Quicksilver, and 20th Century Fox can use Quicksilver, which is really interesting. Though it would be really cool to actually have a storyline where they actually have the crossover like the Avengers versus X-Men comic, which I've read, which is fantastic. Yeah, and this movie will do really well, and I know some people were a little off when they heard that Thanos was going to be the villain because they teased it, but personally I like to think that he'll be either in the Avengers 3 or in Guardians of the Galaxy, which is at the end of Marvel Phase 2, which is strange because Marvel Phase 2 has been going really quickly. Iron Man 3 came out, which was really successful. Thor: The Dark World will be coming out this November, and then Captain America: The Winter Soldier for next Easter, and Guardians of the Galaxy for next summer, and then the Avengers 2 Age of Ultron. I heard in Marvel Phase 3 that they're thinking about having Ant-Man have his own movie, but they should have at least referenced him in the Avengers too. If they don't do it, I'll be a little disappointed because as a comic book fan myself and as a Marvel fan, we need to have Hank Pym be the creator of Ultron, and he is the ultimate villain. Now, in my personal idea for Avengers 3, they need to do the Master of Evil as well, but I don't know. You got to have a lot of villains and a lot of heroes. But yeah, but Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch have been in it, and Vin Diesel has been cast. But I could see Vin Diesel playing as Ultron, maybe have him voice Ultron or play as the Vision, which I personally like to see him play as the Vision because he has the voice, the look, and the emotionless. Not saying that he's not emotionless, but you know what I mean with some of the movies that he has done. But what's also interesting is that Robert Downey Jr. has signed on for 2 more films. His contract deal was actually signed off after Iron Man 3, but what happened was he decided to sign on for 2 more films and he's going to be done, and it's going to be a really sad day when he does leave because Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man. Chris Evans will be returning into the role. Scarlett Johansson will be returning as Black Widow. I'm not sure if they're going to have War Machine. They should have War Machine, which would be really cool to have John Cheadle come back. But they're going to have Mark Ruffalo, Chris Hemsworth, and all of them, and of course Joss Whedon, who made the first Avengers really successful. And I can't wait for the Avengers 2: Age of Ultron. But Marvel Phase 3, it's really cool because I heard for Marvel Phase 3, they're going to have Ant-Man, they're going to have Doctor Strange, which is by the way, my favorite Marvel character in the Marvel universe is Doctor Strange, and I would love to see a movie with him. At least like cast somebody that's really into the role, like Jude Law or Johnny Depp, or personally, I would love to see Doctor Strange be played by somebody that's really like not unknown, but somebody that's really famous, you know. But I would love him to be played by Michael Madsen or one of those guys, which would be really interesting. I can't wait until this. I can't wait to see the Avengers 2: Age of Ultron, and I heard that they're gonna have the recent updates, and that'd be really cool to do a Marvel Universe crossover. But the Avengers 2 is gonna be really interesting. I can't wait to see the Avengers 2: Age of Ultron, and I can't wait to have the fact that they're doing sequels, and it's matching perfectly with the comics. But I hope they have I hope they at least reference Hank Pym in the Avengers 2 because he is the creator of Ultron. You know, I wish they could at least reference him at least. But if they have Iron Man create him, I think that would be the wrong idea. But if they do it correctly, then I will buy it. But you know, if you ever watched Iron Man 3, it kind of hinted that when you come to think of it. But tell me what you thought about this upcoming Avengers 2: Age of Ultron.